Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever back again in the city of Revergrad. And I have been looking around a little bit. I've had plenty of time to investigate things, though I really have stayed focused on the construction. I'll catch up on things in a second. Our radio station is still blaring out our propaganda. I want to fake them out, right, with a little bit of propaganda and a little bit of cultural enjoyment, so they don't know what they're going to get at any given moment. And preference for alcohol, we got on minus 16, or I don't know, somehow we did that. If we take a look, our loyalty is definitely going up. So I don't know how much it's affecting our alcohol or our cultural enjoyment, but it's certainly not hurting. People are happy, at least the ones that have radios. And how many people have radios? Okay, we're reaching a small percentage. I'm not sure how you get more people to have radios, but whatever. Anyway, I'm sure Revergrad's doing just fine down here, so we're going to move on to what's been going on. So let's start over here. I did have to change something. I ended up moving my crisscross out over here because both trains weren't able to get in there. It was like too jammed up. So we have regular two-way signals here, and then I have a one-way chain signal right here, which just allows both of the trains in, but then they go in and out on the right tracks. Oh, excuse me. Go in and out on the right tracks right there. So I don't know why they're not there right now. They may, once in a while they get caught up with the food train, but they should be pretty good. I mean, it's been, now is there some other, no, it's not saying, but we don't have many bricks. And I did mess around with the brick. Oh, look at this. Now we've got unload. Yeah, don't wait to unload, whoever you are. So he's going from Importska. Okay, so we have two brick trucks coming into here, which is probably a bit overkill. As a matter of fact, let's send this guy. Let's just park him in the depot for the moment, because I don't think we need two brick trucks coming up to there. And we'll straighten them out, or I will sometime off camera. There we go. So now what are you doing? You were told to wait. Oh no, you're the one I sent away. So you... Okay, and you managed to unload all your bricks, because the other guy pulled in to get bricks. So now two of these guys... Okay, he's going over to Kameen, and then... Yeah, this is the kind of little thing I've been doing. You notice... that guy's going there, and this guy... Yeah, so what does this guy do? Yeah. Alright, so where is our brick truck that comes up to... It must be this guy. Kameen open storage 2. Oh, I don't want you going there. Oh, you know what? This is backwards. I'm sorry. Load is underneath because at one point I had too many bricks in here somehow, and I think it was because a couple of them got into here at one point when I didn't have this set, only to have steel. And then I couldn't get wood, so I had to switch this guy around to take some bricks out for a minute. So I took a few bricks out. Another interesting thing that happened is really weird, is that I ended up with like a tiny bit of prefab panels and a tiny bit of steel in here, which I don't really understand. It didn't show anything on the truck that I noticed. But whatever, there you go. There we go. We got this guy running again. We've got both of them running again. Most wonderful. So we'll get bricks back in there. Now, once I have this set on limit the amount, it seems to be okay. The only other problem we're having is that I have some extra prefab panels in there. And I think that happens like when you cancel building something. It just dumps them in there regardless if it goes over the amount. So you kind of have to watch that a little bit because you can jam things up. Now this one has been doing pretty well. We got this railroad all the way finished. And one of the reasons I came back is that we're now working on this last bit of road here. So we're almost ready to build the construction area here. And so I thought maybe that would happen. I'm hoping it happens while we do other things and that we'll get this built. And then we can talk about how we proceed, because we're really getting kind of far away. Now I had to move, or I didn't have to, but it was every time they went and got people, they were getting them from here. And they were just getting like 2%, like some tiny, taking like 2 or 4 people up to here. So right now you can see we have 49 people working on this. We're waiting for asphalt. But I switched so that they would start getting people from this bus stop. Now that seems to be working pretty well, and I mention all of that because when we go to take the next step, I'm not sure how well it's going to go, right? Because even though we can move our construction vehicles up into here, meaning these two guys, just to be able to level and build roads, it's going to be kind of tough to build everything we need down in here without a little bit more support. So we're going to see how that goes. It might take just like way too long. Because I was thinking about it, well, it's not obviously just enough to build, some storage yards here and a construction office. We're going to have some people that are eventually down in this area. So what I was thinking of is kind of building a town, not necessarily right where the train tracks would go, but maybe over in this area. And this town would eventually provide labor to Electrical City. It would stay out of the way of where Revergrad would be down here. So, but anyway, I think you get the idea. Let's see what happens with this. And it may be the kind of thing that I'm going to be waiting for the road to build off a camera, and I can keep building those railroads. The railroads go pretty well. The roads are a bit more of an issue because it's taking longer and longer for the trucks. So anyway, we'll see. I haven't built much down in this area since I finished this house. Now you can see it's been quite a while. I don't know the exact number of months or years, but we're rolling in the dough. So I haven't really been paying too much attention to our industry. There is probably one thing I want to do about that. I got most of this intersection worked on, and some people have talked about spending some money. And I think I will. I think I'm going to spend some of our hard-earned dollars to complete this little section of track, rather than worrying about how we're going to finish it. Oop, I spent rubles there, didn't I? Let's spend dollars. It doesn't really matter. We got plenty of both. So there we go. So that intersection is now pretty much done. What that means is we can get a corn train that comes from here and take some of this corn away. But first, let me just show you how these... Let's just finish talking about what has been done. Our construction is going pretty well. We don't have too many people, but I've got 2 construction sites, and really what they're just doing right now is running buses back and forth. But you can see we're all the way down to like 11,000 work days on this phase. So we've done quite a bit of the work that we need to do. There's a lot of work in this last phase, but not, it's no worse than a regular road. So we're making great strides. Boards were a bit of an annoyance, and I have a truck now driving back and forth to both of these, bringing some boards in. I think I mentioned it when I was pointing out the Camine rail construction. This one wasn't all jammed up with anything, so I was able to just get the boards coming back and forth. But we need, like 3 boards per foot. It's 12 tons of boards compared to all this other stuff. So, yeah, and as far as the progress on these tunnels goes, not so great, but it's moving along, and it's now that I'm off of the main highway and these guys aren't causing problems with the rail. That could just sit there running forever, and I don't think it's going to cause us any issues. Same thing once I straightened out the crisscross down here. These guys have then been plugging away. They're behind the other side. And some of it I think is just that they're kind of so far away, but nothing's stopping them now. They've got everything they need. Maybe that won't be true because I just said something, but they just keep riding back and forth. You can't really put any more than 2 on there, because it just doesn't send any more out. So that's it. It's plugging away. If for some reason they didn't get done and this was all built, we could talk about building another rail station over here, but then we'd have to get all the stuff there, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll let them keep plugging away, and eventually one year they'll be done. They'll be done doing the tunnels. But hey, we got plenty of other things to do. I'm kind of excited to get into this area just so that we can... Oh, look, we're already to the asphalt phase. Good. It's just a matter of getting some people up there. I think we have the asphalt waiting for more than 2 people to work on it. So this is the big work coming up, and I can't even do anything because I can't level. I can't. So it'll be great to get another construction office going. And again, how we support it, how we do it. We're far away from a gas station. We have no electricity. But in any event, I did something else. I don't know if you may have noticed. Let me turn on the mountain was in the way, so I just leveled it away. Let me turn on the wireframe for a second, or I think you can see a lot better. So there we go. So we got a big platform up here, and I thought, well, let me just, this is going to be for putting in more chemical plants. So I haven't really worked everything out other than this right here. Let me come back over to here, an oil, chemical plant. So if we turn this guy this way and put him fairly close to there, I think we'll be in good shape. But I want to stay kind of close so that he can get. Here, let's turn it this way so I can see where he is relative to that conveyor thing. And I want to stay close this way because, like if I plop him down, I want to be able to get that pipe past him. What happened there? There we go. So I figured that one out, and then I figured, well, let me just kind of, you can see this isn't quite big enough to really fit these in there well. And then what I would think is we could have another one. Yeah, see, now the problem with this one is this pipe is on the other side. So we're going to have to keep this like kind of forward if we want another chemical plant like here, right? And then that pipe will have to go up and around the back, which really isn't too bad if you consider. Now the other question is, do we do it this way? Because I already have to bring. No. I think this one at least would be this way, but the other ones might end up. Yeah, say like picture maybe we have the conveyor along the back, and then the pipe could go. Well, I don't know if the pipe could go along the back. The pipe could go along the front, and then we'd have a road out in the front, right? All right, so let's put this one down. And if we were going to do the conveyor in the back, would we do this one this way? Let me get it so it's kind of square to the grid, just so it looks. Yeah, so that's not. There you go. All right, so now. Leave enough that we could get that road. Now this road will have to be, I just want to get it to where, I think that's fine. Well, a little further back. There we go. So what I'm thinking of is, let's go over to conveyors, get that done first, I guess. Not that it matters. So what I'm thinking is, let's build. Yeah, it should be like this. And this, it would be nice if there was another way to make a 90-degree turn with these. Yeah, see, I think I need to level further back in there, huh? I'm not sure if I'm going to get. It should be okay. All right, so now let's just put a conveyor here to here, and then from there to there. That's good. And then what I would do is build these along the back. I don't know if I'm going to get a road in there, though. Let's go from here to here. And then now, let's just see. Can we get even a dirt road? Nah, see that's. Right. So that's the kind of thing we may spend money on. Same thing here. I don't think. Oops. I could get a road out there. I just can't get it here. What is it saying? Some other infrastructure is in the way. So can I? Let's go back over to conveyors. There is no. So I could, yeah, I could get out this way, can't I? Yeah, look at that. It's definitely that conveyor in the way. Now can I put a conveyor in, like after the fact? Yeah, okay, well. All right, that's fine. We got a road in there. Now where the road would have to, here's another thing. So the road, let's go back to roads, and we would want this to be an asphalt road. I need to get this road connected, so I just want to bring it out a little bit like that, right? And then, like that's going to be too steep, but if we build this up a bit, okay, probably can come, sometimes you can come back down. Okay, let's, there we go. All right, let's try to come back this way. Yeah, see, isn't that weird? You like going downhill, it won't like it, but all right, yeah, let's come to like here, and then like that. Now, the reason I did that was let's take this guy across here, attach that, too sharp a turn. There we go. And then this guy, I'll bring down this way. And then let's cancel this one because I don't think there's any other reason for that. This is attached here. So they'll be able to get to all of those. Then this needs to get attached at the end there. And then we'll need to build more conveyors. I'm not too worried about this. Is like way more chemicals than we actually need. And I don't really plan on building any of this anytime soon. So now we have two pipes that come out, but this pipe, I don't know that I need it necessarily, but if so, we could build like another chemical thing down in this area. So if we build a few, like we could end up with, I don't know, a lot of them. And it, you know, I don't know that I want to get into building any of these just yet, but I don't want to make it impossible. So in other words, the reason I mention all of that is, like here, we'll be able to bring gravel across. Here, we're kind of limited. So how do we get gravel over to them down here, right? We're going to have to make sure we leave a way to maybe get gravel back down. But we'll figure out, you know, how we do that exactly in the future. But when it comes to these things, I know I can build one, like, say, where it's pointing out this way. And I'll show you what I mean. So we want one that splits. So rather than like be stingy about the whole thing, yeah, let's push it up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I need to stay, I'm going to actually tilt it at an angle. All right, let's see. Can we get a pipe? Yeah. All right, so now let's do E. I'm going to do E twice. All right, let's make sure it looks, yeah, we'll get across that road. Building in the way. Really? Too sharp a turn. Okay, well, you know what, we could redo that. You know what, I'm gonna, yeah, let's cancel. Pipeline, so we need to come, oops, this way a little bit more, and then E it twice, and we can come to here, maybe. Too sharp a turn. Okay, well, we can get rid of that last little bit. No. All right, let's cancel it again. Right, how about we come out of here and we go, yeah, let's go to like here. And then we'll go, I thought I saw a little, I just want to put a little another leg down. And then we'll go Q twice. You know what, then we're going to see about, there. Now, the only problem with all of that is I didn't put, yeah, I kind of need another, after all of that. Oh, me, oh my. That's all right. we know that we can get up there. That's half the battle right now, right? That was what I was trying to do. I was just trying to prove we could get up there. All right, so now this guy could get across this way potentially, right? And then so we need to get this guy connected. And then I'll hit E twice. Well, I'll hit, yeah. There we go. So I'll connect to that. So let me commit to that, those two, because they look good. And yeah, so what I'm talking about is when it comes to this, the thing is we're going to have to get in, and we don't have much room behind here, even if we bring these out a little bit further. So rather than have conveyors crossing with the pipes and all that, I'm thinking maybe we go across the front here. And where do we want? We want another one of these, right? So in other words, did I just see yellow? Oop, no, okay, let's do a little level tool. Got quite a bit of leveling to do. Yeah, there's no reason, like I said, we'll work out some of the other details later, you know. Let's see, can I get that in there now? Not quite. As soon as a little bit more leveling. I think I need a whole lot. Now the other thing I could do is this road, might need to move that road. So let's see. If we don't get it in there. Yeah, you know what, let's demolish that. And let's demolish that. Let's see. Can we put this guy in first? At least to the point we can, yeah, say at least if we can get that sort of leveled. Yeah, like that. All right, let's see. Now, can we build the pipe? No problemo. All right, now can we build the road? Yeah, I don't really like the way that road is, though, so let's... Part of it is because I created a little junction there, but can I turn it this way? Yeah, there you go. That's a little better. Because they'll mostly be coming in and out of here. So now what we can do... Yeah, you know what? We don't even really need, at this point, a proper road up this way. We could just do... like that. That way... Oh, hey, you know what? I don't even know. Did I connect... Can I connect that guy? No. All right, let's see. Can I turn this? Yep. All it takes is a little bit sometimes. And then this could probably go there. Let me delete that. All right, so there you go. So those are all paved roads up to there. And we've now, one more thing to get the pipes going. Oh, that's kind of going to be tough, isn't it? All right, let's do E. We'll do E twice, because... Can I go like to there and then down? Yeah. Let's see how that looks from the other angle. Well, you know, hey, I like the way it looks when you do E twice, because it just seems like things will definitely fit. But I think you can get away with E once, meaning raise the height once. All right, so let's commit to those pipelines, and then we'll go back and commit to those roads. And then I guess we should commit to those conveyors. Oop, that's not how you do that. There we go. There we go. So we more or less, I know I don't have electricity up here, but I really don't, I don't plan on building any of this in the immediate future. And like I said, I think I'll hold off on this but you get the idea. Like, I could see where, because we have this one, we could bring a pipe over here, or we could bring another pipe over here. And then the matter will be probably to get another Here, we could probably lay this out. I still have that screen open. Let's turn, like we would probably put something like this. Let's keep it far to the wall where we, right? And then we'll have like that go to there. And then that way what we can do, depending on how we work it out, is we could come back down the hill with gravel to supply to here and or here. So it'll be a heck of a conveyor system, but yeah, let's, while we're here, can we put in a road? Sure, why not? Okay. Yeah, that gave us something to do. Let's see how we're doing on our little road up here. Oh, look, we're done. Okay, so now let's get these guys to build. Probably should have been paying more attention. Build that. Good. Let's just go make sure we don't have any traffic jams or anything else crazy. And we didn't do our corn. We could do our corn train. Why don't we do a corn train first? All right, so we're going to get another train. And let's buy a diesel locomotive. I wish we could buy some stuff with American dollar. Oh, look, we can. Okay, we could buy a cement tank. Yeah, well, why don't we build this, buy this diesel locomotive? Oh, yeah, make sure it's diesel. It doesn't really tell you on here that it's diesel, unless you check this, huh? All right, well, anyway, there goes a diesel locomotive. And then we're going to need some cargo wagons, box cars. Let's say 4, right? And then what I think I'd like to do with this guy, not having thought it through overly much. Oh, I do want to show you this. All right, let's come up to here. Economy and trade. No, resources. We have $11 million in crops. We actually have more crops than anything else. Steel, pretty good amount, you know, but like we just have what you would call a boatload and a half of crops. So now here's what I just closed them. I didn't mean to close them. Toot. All right, so what I want this guy to do is kind of 2 things. One, come to here and then go to Molna and then come back to here and then go all the way over to Revergrad. Here, let's turn this way. And I'd like you to stop by here. Oh, we can't stop by there and drop off crops until we finish this. Okay, well, we'll worry about that later. Then come to Importska anyway. So the idea would be, really, I just want them to export the crops, you know. Just drive back and forth, export crops. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to have him stop by to top this guy off, right? Even though I don't think, you know, I really don't necessarily think that this is an issue at all. I think we've got plenty of crops. And by the way, I think we're doing pretty well on the chemicals too. I didn't really look to see how much we're importing, which we can do in a minute. But let's finish one thought at a time, right? All right, so let's just set all of these to say crops. And I don't, at this point, I don't necessarily even want him waiting. We'll just have him running back and forth, hopefully not causing any problems for anybody else. But hey, this will be one of our first trains that just hopefully will stay steady running, and we'll have to keep an eye on making sure he doesn't, you know, I don't want our alcohol or any other system to fall apart because of this, and we'll see. We'll keep an eye on him. But we can always stop him at some point if we want, but in the meantime, he's just getting rid of some excess stuff. Now, the other thing is probably, I don't know how much, well, we'll see. We can figure out how much is worth, but, you know, and again, like I just don't want to drain this down to nothing so we stop making food, but as long as we don't do that, I'm okay with him selling tons of crops. It would be nice if you could do a little more to prioritize things. Okay, so what else was there? I know I had another thought in my head before I not distracted myself, but I might have even said it. Yeah, so we have this going, and then the next, oh, electrical. That's right. I want to think about how we would get electricity. I'm thinking that, at some point along here, we really should probably have a gas station. We don't have a gas station here, so the last one is like all the way over here. And while it might be a good idea to have one here, I think definitely having one up here might be a pretty good idea, right? And I guess, you know what, though? We really probably should wait until we get this done. But one of the reasons, when we comes to getting a gas station up here, that's fine and well. But it's really about getting electricity up here, too. So that is something that we could potentially work on in between working on other things. And where would we get it from? So I would think down over here, right? And I would think that if we were to put one up on this hill, we would want, a proper switch and a substation. That way, like everything we do in this area, even if it's semi-temporary, we can just run from that. So I would think we'd come in here. Let me pause it just so I don't minimize the havoc anyway. And this, we may build some of these switches with our money too. I know that's against the rules, but I know a lot of you will forgive me for that. All right, so let's come in here and destroy this, and this, and this, and this. And we'll leave that go for a second. And so what we're going to need is a switch, high power switch. And it should go like this, right? Okay, good. We've got an excavator close enough. Let me just level that a little more to make sure I'm not causing myself huge problems. There we go. And then we'll do high voltage wires and high voltage wires. All right, let's just commit to those two things with dollars, just so that they're at least rebuilt in an easy fashion, and then we can build this with the road. Well, you know what, it's going to shut off a lot. All right, I'll just do it. Let's build it with the dollars. Let's play it forward so it gets done. Then what we'll do is we'll actually build this. You know what? Let's. Is that done being built yet? Yeah, that was done that quick. All right, so let's pause it one more second. I don't need to pause it anymore. We're kind of waiting on enough stuff. So what I want to do is delete that guy. You just need to be a dirt road up to there. But now we can come back over here. Nope, over here. What is that? Cancel wires. Okay. Well, we don't want to cancel wires. What I'm thinking of is we just come right over top here. Yeah, probably right on the other side of these tracks, right? What about down in this flat area? We'll just take it to here. Let's take a look further away. Yeah, so you could probably, what I'm picturing is with this substation, we'll be able to power up stuff over here, and over here. So this is as good a spot as any, I think. Let's put in another switch just because. All right. And then we'll have a power transfer. Excuse me. And then we'll do this to there, this to there. And then I need to get some roads in. Can I get a road? Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Let's do this. Oh, thank you, save game. Let's use the original leveling tool. like I said, in some of these circumstances where you don't actually want it level, where you just want it... There you go. No. Not quite there, but yeah, so we'll bring that up some and then you know what? I'm going to accept that. Look at that. And that it goes across fine. Like, I don't know what to tell you. There you go. So that's all attached. Now, can we get this guy or we mess ourselves up? Nope. All right, good. So now, what I want to do, without getting too in the way of this, let's see, can we build a... Yeah, good. Look, we could build a substation. I'll go stay down on this hill so I know I'm not going to interfere with that, and then we'll make the wires the easy part. Yeah, so let's keep going over this way, because and what I'll do is let's put in a medium voltage switch so that eventually, you know, I put a switch here so we could run high voltage further down, but this way we could run just like a low voltage down to here just to get this construction office going. Which maybe we would delete it in the future, but whatever. All right, so let's get the roads going so I can see where these silly buildings are. Oh, there you go. So let's delete that. And this guy, if I could, I'd like to come off of this road somewhere. Yep. There we go. So those two are now attached. And what we need to do now, see if we can't get some wires in there. And I might as well just use the bigger... So let's take this guy. It doesn't matter. I'll go to this one. There. So now we will at least have power up in here, and it'll give... let's go take somebody off of what they were doing. So let's go over to the high voltage. Commit to that. So we didn't interfere too much by paying for those things. Oh, but you know what? We did, because we didn't ever put this one back up there, did we? I think this is... Can't connect two different wires. So this is just a little tiny... This is going up to that gas station and overlook a... There we go. Yeah, and since that's not attached to anything, we'll pay for that with dollars just to get her done. Cool. All right, so now what I'll do is I'm going to take this guy off of help. Well, you know what? Let's leave them on both. At this moment, there's no huge urgency to get these wires done. So there's no reason he can't help with sending some people up the menu button and work on getting these wires done. Now, how are we doing here? Are you still working? Yes, but you're making no progress because you have no concrete mixers. Well, we have like a whole bunch of those sitting right here. So let's take... Now, what else could you use if... Well, you're more to my road building, so I'd like to have all these dumpers, and you're definitely going to need a close. I'm not going to mess with him. We'll just give him that one mixer. It'll take him a little while to get that done, but at least he'll have that going. So... What I would like to do, because I think we got everything done, I'm pretty sure. Let's just make sure. Yep, you're still working. Where's your partner? Yep, here comes your partner. So what I'd like to do now is just put a pause in the video while we still have some time in the episode. Looks like we got a little traffic there. How did our corn train do? Did he make it down here? Oh, yeah. 220 tons, which is just sort of like good. So we'll get that guy filled up, but at least he made it down here with no issues, right? And what does that mean? Both of our food train. Oh, here comes another food train. So hopefully that doesn't jam up the food trains. And this guy is, I don't think he's moved since like 5 episodes ago, to be honest with you. But look, he is down to 54 tons of crop. So I'm not sure how well it'll go if all 4 trains get back there. But that doesn't seem to be a big problem. I think we can easily handle 3 trains. 2 in there and 1 with the red signal here. You know, we have another signal here, but that might start backing up the road. Which, speaking of backing up the road, this guy's too long. So as he gets down more, I may take maybe even 2 cars off. Like, this just doesn't need that much wood. And he's sitting here with this light flashing. There's no trucks backed up because, like, nobody ever goes up here. Like, just this train brings gravel. I mean, this truck goes back and forth, but none of them actually come up this, which is one of the reasons I made it just a gravel road. But I would like to take that off of there. It's like, who knows? We might do construction or something one day and need that. All right. Well, let's just check this other one. Make sure they're plugging away. I don't see anybody over there. Is that because they're driving back and forth? Yep. Okay. That one's coming in and that guy's going out. Yeah. So they're in good shape. So like I said, it's going to be time consuming, but you know, it's not hard. It's just they're doing their own thing. And look at that. We're almost done the road. So I think certainly by the next episode, we'll pop out into this one. How's the other road over here doing? I just took some of their workers away with the Project North. But overall, well, they're, you know, close to halfway, it looks. So good. So we're making progress on our roads, and then we can pop out here and get into there. So by then, hopefully, we'll have our electricity where we can run some more electrical wires over this way. And at least we'll be able to get a gas station up here, which will help out things, and then see about pushing a town over to here. Good. All right, I'm just going to put a pause in it, and when this is done, we'll do a little bit more construction, at least to set up this office. That way it'll give me a few roads to build in between the episodes. All right, I will talk to you guys in a few minutes. As I was just about to come back anyway, and I noticed we have a little snafu. I was fast forwarding things. It doesn't look like it was jammed up for too long, or else we'd have 1.5 miles of trucks, and well, 2.5 kilometers of trucks, depending on how you measure things. But so anyway, it looks like the problem that I have is that, first of all, I switched everything back to 2-way, which it really probably doesn't need to be anymore. But I think we need a chain signal here going in this direction. This one can just be a regular signal. Switch that back. So now the problem I have is this is sort of a mess. So let's play it again. And then if I cancel this signal, that guy should be able to get out of the road. And then once he's out of the road, I could put, I think, just a regular signal here. There we go. And let's put it 1 way that way. This one could be 1 way this way. There we go. And I probably can change all these back to being, oops, 1 way the right way. Very good. There's a lot of them, isn't there? Yeah, so we might have that problem at some other intersections, and we won't really know that my system's working too well because we've had so few trains. So as soon as I put on a train that is, you know, going back and forth all the time, we start discovering that I have some weaknesses, which I know. But I've also found in train games that sometimes you just wait for the weaknesses and then you fix them when you got them. So there we go. So that's fixed. But that's not even the reason we came back. Now I'm hoping that unpausing there didn't cause me a problem, because the real reason I was paused... Good. He didn't move. This guy here is out of fuel, but he seems to be staying put. So let's stay paused just for the sake of being able to construct without him leaving. But I've made some progress on our wires. I had to take this guy back off of building the tunnel because otherwise he was just sending all of his workers to the tunnel and he was never sending any to the electrical. So until this electrical's done, you know, I don't want to, excuse me, I don't want to take him off of those. So in any event, here we go. So now we have this here. We should be able to complete something down to here. So let's start out with getting some roads down there, and they'll be paved roads. And let's put on our wire frame. All right, so we're just going to come right off of here and take down the hill a little bit. Probably down to there. Make it nice and smooth. Yeah, let me just do this. Make it look a little nicer, I think. But it's kind of taking a big steep dive off of there, isn't it? Let's go from like here. Can I? Yeah. Yeah, see that? It's kind of a steep dive, but that's where we can come in with our old-fashioned leveling tool and just sort of... Yeah, let's hold that up a little bit. Yeah, let's see. Maybe this one's better. Now, if we come back with the road from like here, there you go. And like that. And just make it look nice and wide, right? And maybe I'll go from here to here. All right, so now let's just come right down the center there. And I don't want to come back. You know what? I don't really want to come back in that direction. Let's cancel that. Let's stay straight like this. And we'll come down to here with another one. And again, just to make it look a little, well, arguably nicer. I don't know if it's so much nicer, but and we'll give it a little old-fashioned level, and it doesn't look like. All right, are we almost there? Not really. It's, yeah, this is. Is it leveling much? Oh yeah, you know what? I don't want it to level that much there. I think this is plenty level on its own. Let's go up to about here. Yeah, I can still level, so this is a good sign. I think. How's that look? That looks like a long straight road. I think we're getting close to the limit though. So we may end up building that construction office. Let's see how far we can go. Yeah, we can still go. Oh, not to there though. How about to here? Well, maybe let's. It's still. Sometimes it's the fact that it's a green road. It doesn't want you to. Yeah, we can get to here. Okay, let's. I think that's far enough. All right, so let's see about getting the train tracks down here since we're kind of in this mode. That's red. Turn yellow. All right. Turn yellow again. I don't want it to go down too much. All right, so let's get rid of some of that hill. And how about some of that? I'm not sure how well you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me zoom in a bit. All right, so that, I think I'll come down to about here. Again, trying to keep that right in this path here, right? Stop it. Let's go to about where the road. Yeah, that looks pretty nice, right? All right, but I don't want to build you just yet. I would like to come from like here and do a little extra. There we go. I don't know. I think I might have just messed this up a bit. This one? Did I mess this one up? Is that attached? You know what, let's redo that a little bit. Just yeah, see, I don't think that's actually attached. There we go. A little bit goofy there, isn't it? All right, so let's try this again. There, that I think is attached. Okay, still a long way to go. Let's turn around because I think I can see better if I'm going from this direction. So I'm gonna come up to about here, I think. Turn that yellow and no, don't do that. That's not the first time or the last time that'll happen, but yeah, right about here, right? Yeah, I think that just makes it look slightly nicer. We're going to stay right in here like that. And then we'll come down to there, leveling things out. Now, once we get to a certain point here, I don't want to put any more. Well, we could put the track, but we might end up deleting it. All right, because at some point here, we're going to put our construction office up in this area. Now, before we lay out all this stuff, and I think I may end up doing a better job next episode, but I'd like to see. Really what we need is the mechanical construction office, or the regular construction office up here. But I want to put a train construction and a yard and all this stuff. So what I may do in between the episodes is like level all of this out. Not all of it, but enough that we can get the stuff we want in there. So where do we want I guess the regular construction office is probably better off down this way, right? All of this stuff I could almost consider temporary. So let me just take this to the maximum. Yeah, we can still level. It's letting us level. I just want to get an idea of where it would say, no, you can't level anymore. Okay, why does that seem like so far? I'm not paying for it with rubles or anything, right? Or is it just not as far as I'm thinking? Which is good. Yeah, I think it's just not as far as I'm thinking, and I don't want this last. We're gonna do it different, so that's fine. I think I'll build it like right over here. How does that sound? So let's go back over to here and say, give me a construction office. And you know what? I'm gonna put it this way. And actually. Yeah, I don't really want it to build it up that much. Not that it's that much, but I think what I want to do is level all this down. Just because rather be, I want to put a gas station in here as well. So we'll build a little road off of this. That way we only have one node on the road. There you go. You like that rhyming? That's probably enough room to get started. All right, so now let's take, yeah, you know what we'll do? We'll level a little, oops, not that one. Level a little bit more this way. Just so the road going by this whole area is pretty level. Yeah, just because we're running out of time, we can come back in the next episode and yeah, that'll be fine. Just need that long enough that I can, well, let's plop down the construction. Well, here, let's plop down the gas station first, I guess. And it can be, I think, close to that. Maybe a little further, right there. And then let's go over to here. And this will give me something to do besides, I'll probably lay out the general gist of what I want to do as much as anything else, because the, you know, leveling all that just takes some time, even though it's a lot easier these days. It still is time consuming. All right, so that looks like a pretty reasonable place. And let's go back to, might as well make it an asphalt road, right? Yeah, there we go. And then I'll come here. And we'll come there. That'll be a few too many projects, but at least it'll be fine. There we go. All right, so let's commit to all the roads. And let's commit to the rails before we end up deleting those. So I won't go any further with the rails until we figure out exactly what we want to do here, but I will hit this, what's it say? Start plan construction, even though I'll assign things manually. There we go. That road, yeah, you know, not overly impressive. But the other thing I think we should do, I know I put a switch in here, but I think I want to take this from here, and the last thing we'll do for the episode is go ahead and take the high voltage wires. Yeah, we can just come straight on down, right? Now where's Electrical City? So let's, yeah, I think, you know what, I think I'd go a little bit past it, because we're maybe even with it. Let's go like here. And then I'll put in another switch just because I like switches. I don't know. Yeah, let's just put a switch in here. Oops, we got to level a little bit. Okay, we can do that. All right, and then we'll finish connecting the high voltage wires up. And then we'll put in a transfer station here, substation, transformer, whatever I mean. Very good. And then some more high voltage wires. And then some roads. Let's take this guy. Can we go right past there? Yep. You know what? I'm just going to... Good, that turned green. I don't know if that's the ideal situation for that, but at least for getting the electrical built, this is all... Once it's built, I mean, unless they catch fire, you don't... So you do want the roads, but I'll have no qualms whatsoever about destroying these dirt roads to get the railroad track back there, you know. But this way, in case the high voltage, well, we just want to get that done and down here because we definitely want that gas station working. Now, having built a gas station there, we should probably think about, you know, like I said before, I think I want to leave it to where we could put more tracks back to here if we need to. So I don't want to crowd these tracks in any way more than I already have with the electrical. And I did this electrical just to kind of keep it close here. So what I'm thinking of is, yeah, where could we build? Let's see how far away we could build a gas station up on this hill and still get to that power. So we could build to like here, say. That's going to be a bit, I don't need to necessarily get into all that rock. So if we come here with our leveling tool, push it into the rock a bit, but not, you know, like, I hope you know what I mean. Get it close. Might as well take this down so it looks a little more natural. All right, so let's see. Can we build a gas station there now? Absolutely. Good. So that should have power, right? Let's see. Can I help her? No, I wouldn't know because I didn't quite pay enough attention here. Let's go back to here. Can we? Oh, yeah, it's plenty close. Good. So we can get a gas station going there. I don't want to build it until I actually get the power going, but we can get somebody assigned to the rails, and there we go. So we are pushed down to, you know, a bit of a plan. We'll get this going, and then probably want to just get a regular old construction yard in here. But let's make that the very last thing, because I think we're right on about an hour if my calculations are correct. So let's go to, yeah, I think we would do, what, a warehouse and an open storage? Really, the open storage, we need to have the whole thing. Let's do it the next episode. We'll get this pushed down to here, and then we'll, you know, I'll get some things leveled out, and we can decide in the beginning of the next episode if we want to make it sort of temporary truck or just come right on in with trains. Because to be honest with you, we're doing better building with the trains than we are, because they just don't have as many steps, you know, like it just brings that rail car out. So let's get those assigned, and then we'll call it quits. So we'll tell these guys you can keep plugging away at here and here. That's good. That'll keep them. Oops, we could probably play time again. And then what were we doing? It was this guy who was working on stuff. So he's getting awful far away from this, but at the same time, we'll have a few more painful moments. There we go. And you know what? While I'm there, just so it's ready to go. Once the power is, where is that guy? Right here. I need to get used to something else, by the way. I'll show you in a second. There we go. So let's say we close that. What I'm not in the habit of doing is going like this, and then I can go back to that construction site. Same thing in reverse. So we want to say we're down here. I'm just so used to dragging across the map. Like now we can open up the unfinished road, and bam, there it is. Right, I need to get used to that. So good. So we're pushing it further forward. Once we build some more of the electrical here, I'll get this gas station fired up, because that will actually help. There's some trucks starting to come up here running out of gas, having to go all the way back down there. So we'll have 2 gas stations up over the hill here eventually, and I think we'll be in better shape. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Probably not in some ways the most exciting, but we got a plan for our chemicals. We got, our crops. Let me just show you. I guess the best way in some ways to show you is we've only gone down a little bit with our crops. So like we've gone from 11,800,000 or whatever it was down to 11 million. So the good news is we're not draining it so fast that it's a problem, but we are not gaining any more crops. So that means, at least from the perspective of draining out some of these fields, we are. So, and one other thing to mention, just that it was a slight thing. I always do that, tell you guys halfway goodbye, and then we're struggling with the steel. I ended up stopping the export of steel to the Americans. Let's come over here. And, you know, we barely have a little bit in this. So I think it's more an issue of like producing the coal. So we might want to take a look at that, though. You know, at this moment, we are staying ahead of it. Boy, look at all those buses going in there. Good job, guys. Oh, look at that. We're almost done this tunnel. So that's great. That'll be something else to think about and do in the beginning of the next episode. We'll have, probably by the time I come back, I bet you this tunnel will be done, and we can talk about the plan on the other side there. But anyway, we're we're struggling with the steel, so we're no longer exporting any of it. So we might even consider putting a train on here, but I don't really see the point. I only have 2 trucks plus one topping. You know, they top up various ones, but there's, you know, we're not doing much construction with steel here, so it's not like it's taken much from this. So I think selling off the mechanical components is using a fair amount of steel, but heck, I don't know. We don't really need the money, but I don't mind keeping that productivity going either. So we'll see. All right. Well, again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you in the next episode, I hope. Bye-bye.